What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you tested negative. Time now for that time of the week where we go to our favorite neighborhood drugstore, Walgreens, and we check out their weekly COVID positivity index update. And I gotta tell you, there's a disclaimer for this week. Um, their data is just a jumbled mess. Honestly, I was thinking about not doing the Walgreens update this week, but so many people like saying it, I figured, all right, I'll show it to you as is. You're going to see here a lot of colors don't match. Some states are coming up red where there's no data at all. Some states are coming up green, but they're actually rising. And in one state that I looked at, and we'll get to which state that is later on, in one state I looked at, it actually came up with a 0% positivity rate for this week. So therefore, I don't even think it's safe to say this national positivity rate is even accurate for this week. But let's take a look at it as is. First, we'll start with the national positivity, which is 24.1%. Prior week is 25.2%. Difference of 1.1% down. And testing, this is atrocious. This is an absolute disgrace. Testing is way down, but people have to pay to get a test now, so as much as it makes sense, it shouldn't be so expensive to get a darn COVID test because staying safe is important. And when people can't afford to get tested, how are we supposed to stay safe? It's ridiculous. 3,066 people tested this week in 1 week versus 6,690. That is a significant drop. And you're going to see a few states that honestly, to me, don't even make sense. We probably can't even get a good reading from some states. Start off with Maine. Maine, blank. You come over to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, we do have data to report on. 20% positivity this week. Prior week was 12.5%. That's a difference of 7.5% upward. Test is 10 versus 16, so testing is down. We'll say the majority of this is because of a decrease in testing. Then we come over here to Vermont, and again, no data out of Vermont this week. And Massachusetts, we do have data. 19.4% positivity rate, 12.2% last week. That's a difference of up 7.1%. The testing is down. 31 versus 49. We'll say that positivity increase is mostly because of a decrease in testing. How about Connecticut? And look at this. Connecticut's bright red on the map, but you come over here to the data, Connecticut is seeing a drop in positivity. 13% versus 22%. That's down by 9%. 23 tests versus 50. So that is a legitimate drop because testing's down and the positivity's down. So that's a good thing. Then you come over to New York State. New York State doesn't make much sense to me. 25.3% this week. 22.7% the prior week. That's a difference of 2.5% up. But look here, only 87 total tests. Prior week there were 233 total tests. It's not a lot of testing. I don't think you can get a good reading. We don't know which part of the state that actually majority of these tests come from. Remember, New York City itself has millions of people. So say the majority of this testing is coming from upstate New York. Well, that doesn't give us a good reading of what's going on down in New York City. And we know that New York City, some of the wastewater sites are starting to rise, and some of the modeling, Hubbub World, we'll get that weekly video later this week, Hubbub World modeling is still showing that there is going to be a significant increase in New York City. All right, coming down to New Jersey. It's showing up bright red, but as you can see here on the right, New Jersey's actually dropping. 19% this week, 21.3% the prior week. That's a difference of down 2.3%. Current week's total test is 116 versus 188. And it's safe to say, I think this is a legitimate drop because when you have that much less testing and a positivity drop, that's a legitimate drop. Taking a look at Pennsylvania. It's green, but yet the positivity is rising. 21.2% this week. Prior week, 18.5%. Difference of up 2.7%. Just 33 tests this week. 92 the prior week. And this is not a legitimate rise. This is because of testing being so much down. Let's take a look at Maryland. Maryland, the positivity rate is really dropping here, and it's actually matching the color on the map. 3.6% positivity rate. Prior week is 14.7%. That's a difference of down 11.1%. 28 tests versus 34. And yes, I'll call this a legitimate drop as well. Let's take a look at Ohio. And Ohio, this is concerning. Ohio is 23.3% this week, 18.5% last week, 4.8% increase in positivity, 90 tests versus 146. And I think the majority of this is because of testing and perhaps a small rise in cases. There are a few wastewater sites which do show cases rising there. Let's take a look at Indiana. And whoa, look at this. 11.1% is the current week positivity. 30.2% is the prior week positivity. 19.1% decrease in testing. 45 tests 19.1% decrease in positivity. 45 tests this week, 96 last week. I guess you could say that is a legitimate drop because with the testing being down, the positivity still dropped big time and did not rise. Taking a look at Kentucky. Kentucky, not much testing going on here. 16.7% is the current week positivity. 15.3% is the prior week. Difference of up 1.4% and 18 tests versus 85. We're really seeing here the true colors of how expensive it is to get a test. That's totally ridiculous. And yes, Kentucky, your positivity increase is due to this massive drop in testing. How about Illinois? 30.5% this week, 29% the previous week. Difference of up 1.5%. 210 tests versus 638. That's a massive testing drop. And the positivity only rose by 1.5%. That's because of testing, and that's not really all that concerning, considering you had nearly 400 tests less this week. How about Wisconsin? What's going on there? Wisconsin, 26.2% this week, 29.6% the previous week, 3.5% decrease in positivity, and testing is down, 84 versus 253. Let's go down south, shall we? Mississippi, 36.4% this week, 35.7% last week, 0.6% increase. Total test, 11 versus 28. This is a rise due to testing, not enough testing. Then we go west to Louisiana, and in Louisiana, we do see that 4.5% positivity current week, 20.6% the previous week. That's down 16%, 22 tests versus 68 tests. I mean, that could be legitimate. I'm not 100% sold on that. Florida, 28.9% this week, 26.2% the previous week. Only up 2.8% despite nearly a 500 decrease in the amount of tests. 418 versus 966. All right, here's Kansas. 10% positivity this week, 24.1% last week. Difference of 14.1% down, 10 tests versus 29 tests. And now we come to our state that makes absolutely no sense to me at all. Nebraska. Current week positivity. Oh, wait. 0.0%? That's what it says. 27.6% the prior week. And that's down 27.6%. It says total tests, 10 versus 29. So I'm assuming maybe no one tested positive in Nebraska? I don't know, but that's a big decrease. And oh, look at the map here. The map is showing red. Yeah, it makes zero sense. I think we're going to say that's a little flawed if you ask me. Taking a look at Colorado. 26.9% this week, 20% the prior week. That is up 6.9% due to the fact testing is way down again. 52 tests versus 165. How about Texas? Texas, yes, the testing decrease has hit you as well. 25.3% positivity this week, 23.9% the prior week. Difference of up 1.4%, and it's up slightly, but again, it's because of testing, and it's not all that concerning. And here you go. This one's coming up red, New Mexico, but it's anything but red. 33.3% this week, 43.2% last week, down 9.8%, 18 tests versus 88. How about California? California, 28.2% this week, 31.3% the prior week, difference of down 3.1%. Total test 330. Prior week 345. So ever so slight decrease in testing, and yet the positivity still dropped. Let's take a look at Alaska. 40% this week, 50% last week. It's down 10%, and testing's down slightly, so this is a legitimate drop. 10 tests versus 14, and we will end this week on Washington State, where there is 22% positivity, with the prior week being 20.8%. That is up by 1.2%. Total tests 50 versus 106, and I think it's safe to say this rise is due to testing. Alrighty, that does it for our visit to our friendly neighborhood drugstore, Walgreens. We'll have another Walgreens update, hopefully next Tuesday. Remember, next Monday is a holiday, and when it's a holiday, it falls on the following Tuesday, so they say. So we'll see how that goes. I'll see you all again later today for the daily pandemic update. I'll give you a little hint. There's a lot of news today, and it's not so much good news, so stay tuned for that later on this afternoon, about 4 to 5, between 4 and 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.